But anyway, so about well, on the 28th of January, uh, she called me and asked me to a party, and I had I had worse kind of flu. I was just terrible, bad shape, and so anyway, I told her I was sick and I was sorry, but I would take a rain check if you want to, some other time. So then she called me back in about the 2nd of February or so. Said we have another party, one of the girlfriends. So I went over there to got anyway, so I went to the party over there, and so then I took her home from there, and actually I was pretty forward, I put them all around, kissed them a couple of times, kissed them anyway. So that was our first date. Wasn't really a date, but anyway, she called me. I didn't call her a date here, that year. So anyway, so then I asked her, and so I said, "What do you?" That was on a Saturday night, and so then I said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And in the meanwhile, I had a date with Uncle Otto. Got me a date with some woman from Austin, and she knew I played saxophone. I told her so I played saxophone anyway. She said, "Oh, my daddy is dead, and my mother has a little saxophone she'd like to sell, I think," she said, and so if you think you'd be interested, and I said, "Well, yeah, I guess I would. I don't have my sax right now. I have a sax. I had a C melody and I got rid of it. Anyway, so I asked your grandma if she wanted to go to ride to Austin with me, so to get that, look at that thing. So I did. We drove up there, and so it was a straight sax, and your mother has it. I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
All right, that little straight B flat sax. So anyway, I said, "Well, what do you want for it?" And she said, "Well, what do you think it's worth?" And I said, I don't want to make any decision." She said, "Well, is $5 too much?" And I said, "No, it sounds okay." So I gave her $5 for the saxophone. And so then we ate at the Black Hawk on the way out of Austin, coming back to San Antonio. And so then I said, she said, I got to work till midnight now, every night, I said, "All right." I said, "Can I meet you at the telephone company?" She said, "Yeah, I'd be fine." So I met her at the telephone company every night at 11 o'clock, 11:30 when she got off. And then we'd go make the rounds or some of the nightclubs and stuff like that. And then I'd get her home about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I'd have to get up at 6 and go to work at the highway department. And so anyway, so on the 14th of, or right at, on Valentine's Day, I asked her to marry me. I'd seen her every day for 2 weeks or a week or whatever. And she accepted it, and so I got her a ring at Shaw's and on credit, $65 for the set. And anyway, so then I never, from that point on, every day, every night, I'd pick her up, or the days she was off, or I'd be with her then earlier. And of course, old man Carson, because I knew nursery stuff, boy, he was in that nursery business. That suited him just fine. That's the first boyfriend she ever had that could get her at home at 2 o'clock in the morning and not say anything about it. Because he got out at 11, or he'd get home from railroad. He worked 7 days a week at SP Railroad, and he worked 54 years with SP. Anyway, he sometime, on nights we'd get her home at a reasonable hour. He'd walk on by the car and he'd speak to me. Anyway, he said, so she said, "Well, Daddy would have never put up with that, because he thought I was in a dance hall anywhere. He'd have come looking for me, So anyway, so we decided on April the 7th to get married, and so we did. And